Burnout and breakdown. Are we talking about a psychological or mental breakdown here?
Yes, the two things are similar, but yes, we are. Unfortunately, I know too well what burnout and breakdown is all about. So after working tremendously hard for 15 years or so, I plummeted off a cliff, a metaphorical cliff, into a deep trough of cognitive close down, frustration, and hopelessness that lasted, unfortunately, for a dozen years or so. And conceivably stole away the most productive business years of my life, my 40s. Also, it conceivably stole away a dozen years of quality family life as well. In fact, if you add up all the years together I've spent working, I spent nearly 3 decades living a life that was sort of second best, living a life that was mostly a massive facade. Incidentally, just as an aside, I was mostly pretty awful to live with as well. Or I was either irritable or I withdrew into myself eventually I sort of totally lost my identity. I'm not sure I knew who I was truly then anyway. And I felt like a lonely and sort of wretched failure.
But what happened to you, that mental collapse? Is that common?
Yes, unfortunately it is. The exact details of each person's breakdown are always different, but loads of busy business people eventually go into a close down and suffer psychologically. Chasing a dream, being competitive, improving status, all of these things are not bad things. These things are connected to the enhancing drive that's big in many humans. This enhancing drive that makes us want to achieve and then receive the dopamine hit once we have achieved. So being competitive and improving status are only bad if they totally dominate your life to the exclusion of other vital and important elements of your life. The people who are close to you actually having downtime. I know of numerous people who have had psychological collapse and a cognitive close down, and that's what really happened to me. Whereas I used to be sharp of mind, I became dull of mind. And I've known people that have had this close down because they've just let that work element totally dominate their life. I also know of friends that have left it too late. They were so determined to sort of persist fighting the fight that eventually they sort of collapsed or had no energy for the retirement they'd promised themselves, irrespective of the size of their pension pot. Often it wasn't that the fight that they were fighting was wrong. It was just that they had adopted the wrong tactics.
So how can someone change like you did?
Well, I did. And many of my clients have nurtured and understood the nuances of their own psychological makeup. They've become emotionally intelligent, and they develop a sort of a deep appreciation of their genuine abilities and talents, and also what their true aspirations are holistically with the whole of their life. But by becoming emotionally intelligent and adopting a positive outlook regarding one's unique contented balance, you can take control and optimize your whole life instead of just maximizing a part of it and neglecting the rest.